Have you ever looked at a woman and felt an aura of unshakable peace around her, a quiet power that doesn't need to announce itself? What is the secret that separates a woman tossed about by the waves of life from one who seems to command the tides from within her own soul? This isn't about luck or beauty or wealth. It is about a profound inner architecture, a fortress of self built on principles that have been understood by the wisest minds for centuries, yet are rarely spoken of in the language of feminine power. A woman who masters this architecture is not just happy. She is whole, she is sovereign, she is a force of nature walking in grace. Today, on Feminine Queen, your journey into that deep inner world begins. We are not here to talk about superficial tricks or fleeting trends. We are here to uncover the timeless psychological truths that forge a truly unshakable woman. Drawing from the profound insights of the psychologist Carl Jung, we will explore the 7 qualities that define this rare and powerful feminine archetype. This is for the woman who is tired of the noise, who senses there is a deeper well of strength within her, and who is ready to claim her crown not of jewels, but of self-mastery. You are a feminine queen, and understanding these principles is not just an act of learning. It is an act of remembering the power that has been inside you all along. Prepare yourself, my ladies, because this is more than just a list. This is a map to your inner kingdom, a guide to excavating the gold buried beneath the rubble of expectation and doubt. I will guide you through the sacred arts of self-reclamation, shadow work, and intuitive command. By the end of our time together, you will see yourself and your journey in a new, more powerful light. You will understand that every challenge, every wound, and every quiet moment of reflection is part of the sacred process of building your throne. Your reign over your own life, your own emotions, and your own destiny starts now. 1. The Sacred Art of Self-Reclamation. The first and most foundational quality of the unshakable woman is that she has undertaken the sacred art of self-reclamation. She understands that she was born as a pure, authentic essence, but that life, society, and expectations have layered upon her countless masks and roles. Carl Jung called this journey of stripping away the false self's individuation. It is the conscious and often courageous process of becoming who you were always meant to be. The unshakable woman does not ask for permission to be herself. She gives it to herself. She dares to ask the terrifying but liberating question, without my job, my relationships, my responsibilities, who am I? She relentlessly seeks the answer not in the opinions of others, but in the quiet, resonant truth of her own soul. This journey inward is the ultimate act of sovereignty, for a queen cannot rule a kingdom she does not know, and her primary kingdom is herself. This is not a one-time event, my queens, but a continuous, devoted practice. It is the woman who, after years of being the nice girl, finally allows her fierce, righteous anger to have a voice. It is the corporate leader who rediscovers her love for painting, not as a side hustle, but as a vital lifeline to her spirit. She carves out sacred time for solitude, not because she is lonely, but because she is cultivating a relationship with the most important person in her life, her true self. She knows, as Carl Jung's work suggests, that the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. She stops performing for an audience and starts living from her core. This reclamation is what gives her that centered, grounded presence. She is not easily swayed by criticism or praise because she is anchored in a self that is not for sale and not up for negotiation. 2. Shadow work, the alchemy of wholeness. A woman who is merely nice is fragile. A woman who is whole is unshakable. The second quality is her mastery of the shadow. Carl Jung taught that the shadow contains all the parts of ourselves that we have repressed and disowned because we were taught they were unacceptable. For so many women, the shadow holds their ambition, their rage, their sensuality, their raw power. It is every part of you that you were told was too much or unladylike. To ignore this shadow is to live a half-life, constantly fearing what lurks in your own dark. But the feminine queen is not afraid of the dark. She walks into it with a lantern, ready to reclaim her exiled treasures. She knows that true power is not found in being perfect, but in being whole. She practices the alchemy of wholeness by turning towards her triggers instead of away from them. When she feels a surge of envy, she doesn't shame herself. She asks, "What is this envy showing me about a deep desire I have yet to honor?" When she feels irrational anger, she inquires, "What boundary has been crossed and what part of me is rising up to defend it?" This is the essence of shadow work. It is the courageous act of integrating the rejected parts of yourself to become a unified, formidable force. A woman who has done this work is no longer at the mercy of her moods or insecurities because she understands their source. She is not afraid of her own anger because she has learned to channel it into powerful, constructive action. As Carl Jung powerfully stated, one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. This conscious integration is what makes her presence so authentic and her spirit so unbreakable. 3. The intuitive sovereign. In a world that worships data and external logic, the unshakable woman rules from a different throne, the seat of her intuition. This is her scepter, her most trusted advisor. Carl Jung's psychology deeply honors the non-rational, intuitive functions of the mind, recognizing them as a profound source of wisdom. The feminine queen knows that her intuition is not a whimsical, fleeting feeling. It is a highly sophisticated, intelligent system, her subconscious processing millions of bits of data in an instant and delivering a clear verdict. A gut feeling, a sudden knowing, a physical sensation of rightness or wrongness. Society has conditioned many women to doubt this inner voice, to seek external validation for what they already know deep in their bones. But the queen honors her intuition as sacred truth. She cultivates this power by creating the silence necessary to hear it. She practices mindfulness, journaling, or simply walking in nature, allowing the noise of the world to fade and the whispers of her soul to emerge. When making a decision, whether about a business partner or a lover, she listens not only to the logical pros and cons, but also to the subtle signals of her body. Does her body feel expansive and open, or tight and constricted? She trusts that feeling above all else. This intuitive guidance system is her superpower. It allows her to navigate complex situations with a grace and certainty that baffles the purely logical mind. She doesn't need to explain her why to everyone. Her quiet confidence comes from being aligned with a source of wisdom that is unerring and entirely her own. She trusts the unseen map within her. 4. The crown is not the role. The fourth quality is the profound understanding that she is not her roles. A feminine queen may be a mother, a CEO, an artist, a healer, or a partner, but she knows these are simply crowns she wears, not the head upon which they sit. Carl Jung called the social mask we present to the world the persona. The persona is necessary for navigating society, but it becomes dangerous when we mistake the mask for our actual face. The unshakable woman consciously wears her roles and wears them well, but she never allows her identity to become fused with them. Her sense of self-worth is not derived from her job title, her relationship status, or her productivity. It is innate, inherent, and unconditional. Because her identity is not tied to any single function, she is resilient in the face of life's inevitable changes. If she loses a job, she grieves the loss, but does not lose herself. If a relationship ends, she feels the pain, but knows her worth remains intact. This is her freedom. She cultivates a rich inner life that is hers and hers alone, a secret garden where she is not a mom or a boss, but simply a soul in communion with itself. She fiercely protects this inner space, saying no to demands that would drain her essence, even if it means disappointing others. She understands Carl Jung's warning that the persona is a semblance, a two-dimensional reality. The unshakable woman is anything but two-dimensional. She is a multifaceted jewel, and she knows that her core brilliance shines on, regardless of the setting she is placed in. All right, feminine queens, thank you for being the heart of this incredible community. Your presence here is what makes this journey so powerful. The energy you bring through your likes, comments, and shares is the lifeblood of this channel. Keep that powerful energy flowing, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share this message with another queen who needs to hear it. I will love you forever for it, and it ensures that this sanctuary for feminine strength and wisdom continues to grow. 5. The stillness of a storm's eye power is often mistaken for noise, for action, for constant movement. But the truly unshakable woman wields a far more potent force: stillness. In the midst of chaos, she is the calm eye of the storm. This is not passivity or weakness. It is the ultimate expression of self-mastery. In Carl Jung's framework, this inner stillness is the gateway to the self, the regulating center of the psyche, the core of our being where true wisdom resides. The average person is reactive. They are hooked by criticism, triggered by conflict, and thrown off balance by unexpected events. But the feminine queen has trained her nervous system to default to pause. She creates a space between a stimulus and her response, and in that space lies her power. Imagine her in a tense meeting where voices are rising. Instead of adding to the frantic energy, she becomes quieter, more deliberate. Her calm presence de-escalates the entire room, not through force, but through sheer centeredness. She cultivates this quality through small, daily rituals. It could be 5 minutes of conscious breathing before starting her workday, savoring a cup of tea without the distraction of her phone, or simply pausing to feel her feet on the ground when she feels overwhelmed. These are not empty gestures. They are acts of rebellion against a world that demands constant reaction. Her stillness is a strategic advantage. It unnerves those who rely on chaos to gain control and earns the deep respect of those who recognize its profound strength. She doesn't just weather the storm. She is the stillness that shows the storm where its limits are. 6. The Phoenix Pact, pain as initiation. Many people spend their lives trying to avoid pain, but the unshakable woman understands a deeper truth. Pain is not an obstacle to her path. It is the path itself. She has made a phoenix pact with life, recognizing that every heartbreak, every failure, and every loss is not a punishment, but an initiation. Carl Jung spoke of transformation not as a simple process of self-improvement, but as a profound alchemical death and rebirth. The feminine queen does not ask, "Why is this happening to me?" She asks the far more powerful question, "What is this trying to teach me? What part of me is ready to be burned away so that a stronger version can rise?" She sees suffering as a sacred crucible designed to burn away her ego, her attachments, and her false notions of control. This is why she emerges from hardship not bitter, but wiser. Think of the woman who has gone through a devastating betrayal. Instead of building walls of resentment, she allows the pain to carve her open, to reveal her own resilience, her own capacity for compassion, and the true nature of her own values. She learns to mother herself through the grief, to sit with the emptiness until it transforms into a spaciousness filled with new potential. Her scars are not signs of damage, but maps of her victories, testaments to the battles she has won within her own soul. She does not get over her pain. She integrates it. It becomes part of her strength, adding depth to her character and empathy to her heart. She embodies the promise of the phoenix, that from the ashes of who she was, the queen she is destined to be will always rise. 7. The inner kingdom, where true rule begins. Finally, The seventh and culminating quality of the happy, unshakable woman is her absolute devotion to her inner kingdom. She has learned that while the external world is fickle and unpredictable, the world within her is hers to cultivate and rule. This is the great inner journey that Carl Jung described as the ultimate task of human life. The feminine queen shifts her focus from chasing external validation, the perfect body, the prestigious job, the public accolades, to cultivating internal richness. She doesn't chase happiness as a destination. She cultivates meaning, purpose, and peace as a daily practice. She understands that a throne built from external achievements can be toppled overnight, but a throne built from self-knowledge, virtue, and inner peace is eternal. Her ultimate legacy is not what she built in the world, but the quality of the world she built within herself. She finds joy in her own company, seeing solitude not as loneliness, but as a sacred meeting with her soul. She measures her wealth not in currency, but in the depth of her relationships, the clarity of her mind, and the resilience of her spirit. She has learned the final, liberating secret of true royalty. The most powerful queens do not seek to rule over others. They seek absolute, compassionate, and wise reign over themselves. This is her ultimate power. It is a quiet, dignified, unshakable force that emanates from her, influencing the world in a way that overt power never could. She is happy and unshakable because she has come home to herself, and in that inner kingdom she reigns supreme. This journey is not a simple checklist, my queens. It is a profound, lifelong path of becoming. The principles shared today from the wisdom of Carl Jung are not just ideas to be understood, but truths to be lived. They are the 7 pillars upon which you can build an inner fortress so strong that no external storm can ever tear it down. The world will constantly test you, inviting you to forget your power, to trade your sovereignty for approval, and to abandon your inner kingdom for the glittering distractions of the superficial. Your work is to remember that your shadow holds your power. Remember that your intuition is your most loyal guide. Remember that your worth is not defined by your roles, and that your greatest strength is found in your stillness. When pain comes, as it surely will, remember your phoenix pact, that you are designed to rise from the ashes more brilliant than before. This is the sacred work of a feminine queen. It requires courage, devotion, and a fierce commitment to your own soul. This path of self-reign is the most rewarding journey a woman can ever take. It is the path to a happiness that is not fleeting, but deeply rooted. It is the path to a strength that is not brittle, but resilient and authentic. You have the map now, the choice to walk the path, to claim your throne, and to build your inner kingdom is, and always has been, yours alone. You are a feminine queen, not because of a title bestowed upon you, but because of the sovereignty you choose to cultivate within. Thank you for allowing me to be your guide on this part of your journey. If this message resonated with the queen within you, subscribe to Feminine Queen and join our community of powerful women. Your presence here strengthens us all. Until next time, continue to reign with grace, wisdom, and the unshakable power that comes from knowing who you truly are.